Who that nation? I hope you enjoyed the bye week. It was a well-needed rest, a week of no stress, worrying about the Saints losing another game after what was a very uneven first half of the season. And yeah, we're back, and we're back to playing football this week. The second half of the season for the Saints is about to begin, and I'll break it down. And we have a player, a veteran on the Saints who could go down as a Saints legend if you look at his career. You can debate it, but he just got released, and I have that to break, and there's a lot to talk about. And Saints football is back this season. Let's get to it right now. This is the Saints Roundtable. Let's get to it. All right, so let's talk about this release that happened. Wide receiver Brandin Cooks has been released, and yeah, it was a good reunion for him coming back on a 2-year, $13 million deal signed this offseason. And he was set to be a veteran presence to help out the young wide receivers. And after what's been a very uneven start to the season, the team has decided to part ways with him, and he is now a free agent. And yeah, it is what it is. Like I always liked Brandon Cooks, even when he came up with the Saints in the beginning. He was always a very good receiver, speed threat. He can get out and make some big plays, and he was a very good receiver when he first came up. Went to the Patriots for a couple of years, the Rams, and yeah, he's been a very impactful wide receiver wherever he's been. And he came back this year, and yeah, he was supposed to be the veteran guy, and he was in the fit in with Chris Olave and the recently traded Rashid Shaheed, and be the number 3 receiver and get some open targets. But with the uneven play at quarterback, he really was never able to hit his stride and get comfortable in his offense. And yeah, he just couldn't really be impactful. And the Saints were looking at trying to trade him at the trade deadline, but they couldn't figure out a deal to put him part of a deal to trade him. And yeah, after a long discussion, credit to him, he didn't go out there and make it public that he wanted out. The two sides spoke privately, and yeah, they said, hey, Brandon was like, hey, I did all I could here. I know we're not in a good situation, but I want to go somewhere else. And credit to Mickey Loomis and the Saints front office. They were like, okay, well, we'll agree to a buyout, or we'll buy you out, release you, and you can go wherever you please. And good luck to Brandon, man. He can be a still pretty good receiver, and he can be a good number 3 to 4 receiver on a contender if he chooses to go to a contender if somebody picks him up. But yeah, as I said, he had an okay season. I want to say I want to say a good year with the Saints. In 10 games, he had 19 receptions, 25 targets for 165 yards, 0 touchdowns. So yeah, he just never really was able to get going. And yeah, he's a little long in the tooth. Obviously, he's been in the league for many years, and he's at the back end of his career. But the guy can still play. Like when he was with the Cowboys as number 3 option, he was still able to make some big catches and some big plays. And depending on who's the offensive coordinator and knows how to use his strength, he can still go out there and make a couple of big plays out there and be a good player on offense. So good luck to him, man. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting now with the Saints wide receiving core, because obviously Chris Olave is number 1. Rashid Shaheed has since been traded to the Seahawks, and there's a lot of other options now at receiver, and a lot of openings for a lot of young guys to step up and possibly be the number 2 and 3 behind Chris Olave in this offense, depending on who the quarterback is next year, if they indeed draft a quarterback, or if it's Tyler Shuck. Depending on who it is, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna be the receiving core going forward. Now that Shaheed is gone, and now that Brandin Cooks is gone, so it's gonna be very interesting if you're a Saints fan. Expect the offense to be a little sputterish going forward. Although Chris Olave has really picked it up the last couple of weeks, so he should be able to play pretty well. But guys like Bub Means and a lot of other young receivers gotta pick it up and prove that they're worth to be on this team for years to come. And yeah, all the credit to the world to Brandin Cooks. He's a two-time Saint. Came up with the Saints, came back this year, as I said, and he showed his loyalty to the city. Even through the rough years, he loved being here, and yeah, it was just time for the two sides to come to an end, and yeah, it came to an end. So after 10 games, Brandin Cook has been released, and it's time for him and the Saints to move on and see how the future goes. This is the Saints Roundtable, and we have football, guys. Football is back. We're back off the bye week, and I'm gonna break down this game against the Falcons, Week 12. Stick and stay. All right, so let's break down this Week 12 game. The Saints are back at home, back in New Orleans after the bye week, refreshed. Player, this should be the healthiest they've been in a long time. Starting the season, and yeah, they're back at home and coming off a big win against the Panthers, and they're more confident now, possibly to get a third win, and this should be a good one. And yeah, the Falcons, they've fallen on hard times since last time we've seen them. Michael Penix Jr., God bless him, he tore his ACL in the last game, and he's had a long history of knee injuries going back to his times in college at Washington. And yeah, good luck to the kid, man. He had a lot of ups and downs this year, mostly ups, but yeah, he got injured at the wrong time. He was playing very well in his last game against the Panthers, but yeah, he just went down and a knee injury, and yeah, it's a torn ACL, and he's out for the season. So that means Kirk Cousins is now under center. He's back now as a starting quarterback for the Falcons, and the Saints got to deal with him now as a starting quarterback in this game and going forward the rest of the season. And another injury to them, Drake London, their great wide receiver. He's week to week, also with knee injury, and it's most likely he's going to miss this game. I don't know how he's going to be able to go a full week and then play the next game with the knee injury. So most likely he'll be out. So the guys that the Saints defense has to keep an eye on is, of course, the great running back, Bijan Robinson. This guy is electric. He's a really good receiver / rusher combo running back. And yeah, he's just explosive. If he gets out in space, he can make some big plays. And yeah, you got to keep him contained because the dude is a really, really good player. It's hard to say because the guy can move, man. He can, as I said, he can catch it. He can run it. And yeah, if he's out in space, man, he's gonna make you miss a lot of times, and he can break a whole lot of tackles. So the Saints pass rush and the linebackers have to keep him at bay, limit the space, keep him in the box, and do the best they can to not make him go out and get out there and make some huge runs and catches. And it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be easier now because now there's possibly no Drake London, and there's no Michael Penix Jr. At quarterback to be a running threat at the quarterback position, because Kirk Cousins is more of a statue at this point. He's never really been a running quarterback, honestly. He's always been a statue quarterback, but especially now at his older age and coming off that Achilles injury, he can't move. So the Saints pass rush is not worried about him going anywhere, so they can keep an eye on Bijan Robinson and keep him at bay running the football. And the other guy you got to keep an eye on is the tight end Kyle Pitts. He's had a lot of inconsistency in early in his career, but with Penix this year, he was really starting to pick it up, and he was starting to look like the first round pick that he was touted as when he came out of college a couple years ago. And the guy is a very good tight end. He can run. He's very strong, good hands, and yeah, you got to keep him at bay. So the linebackers and maybe a safety, if they double cover him, have to keep him at bay, because if he's out in space and you give him a lot of space in the middle to make some jump ball catches, he can make those catches because the guy is athletic. He has good hands, as I said, and yeah, you got to keep him contained and be physical to him, and make sure he doesn't get out there and make some big catches at the tight end position. So Demario Davis and Pete Werner have a lot on their hands to keep an eye on him and keep him at bay. And yeah, I would say you should double cover him. I think yeah, bring a safety in there to help and and make somebody else beat you. Darnell Mooney he's a good receiver, but he's not the number one. So if Darnell Mooney beats you, then so be it. As long as Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson don't get going, this Falcons offense could be pretty stagnant. And it's going to be hard for them to score points, especially on the road now that the Saints are at home and the Who Dat Nation crowd is going to be lit. So it's going to be hard for the Falcons to move the football if the Saints do as I said and do their best to shut down Bijan Robinson and shut down Kyle Pitts. And yeah, if Darnell Mooney beats you, then so be it. Because Kirk Cousins at this stage, I like him a lot as a player. He's just not the same quarterback. We saw in that game where he came in, he was very erratic with his passes. He doesn't have the same drive he has on the ball that he had last couple of years before the Achilles. And yeah, if you can pressure him, then he's not the big play threat he used to be at the quarterback position. So I'll blitz him a lot. If I'm Brian Staley, I would blitz him a lot, pressure him, get him off his spots, make him move around the pocket, get him scared back there. And if you can do that, then it's gonna be a tough day for the Falcons offense. So we'll see what they can do. And yeah, make the other receivers beat you. Don't let Kyle Pitts get going. Don't let Bijan Robinson get going. And if you can do that, then the Saints defense coming off a good game before the bye last week should be able to continue the consistency and keep that defensive train going and do a good job on that side of the football. And now I'll get to the offensive side of the football in the next segment. This is the Saints Roundtable. I'll talk offense coming up next. Let's go to the offense now. And Tyler Shough should go in pretty confident. He had a pretty good game in his last game before the bye against the Panthers. And he's got to feel like he has more control of his offense now that he has I'm pretty sure he took a break during the bye week, but there was probably times where he was reading his playbook more. And I think Kellen Moore is going to give him more opportunities to be the quarterback of the future and open the play with more and let him be more free. So yeah, I think if for sure that Kellen Moore gives an opportunity, I think Tyler Shough can show something. Although this Falcons defense is pretty good, they've really improved that side of the football. They drafted a lot of guys in this draft on the defensive side because they knew their offense was going to be good. So they said, hey, go on defense, and yeah, they've been a lot better. Their pass rush is a lot better. They get more pressure on the quarterback. They're really good in the secondary with AJ Terrell, and they also have Jesse Bates in the secondary, and yeah, they're pretty good back there. So it's a lot of pressure on Tyler Shough, but hey, free the reins. Let's see what he can do, because we saw in the last game, if you can give him time, he can throw a deep ball. He can connect, and he did it with Olave, and it looks like him and Olave are really starting to build that connection. So if you can do that, then that can lead to some big success here. And of course, yeah, Chris Olave, now that Rashid Shaheed is gone and Brandin Cooks is gone, he's got to step up and do his thing again. He has a tough matchup against AJ Terrell. So if I'm Kellen Moore, I'm moving him around. I'm putting him in the slot. I'm putting him out wide. I'm putting him in the backfield. Whatever it takes, get to keep AJ Terrell moving around, because if you just put him out wide and put him on one spot, Terrell is a good enough a cornerback where he can, if he reads that, he knows that's the same formation every single time. He's gonna do a good job of keeping him at bay. So move Olave around and make him a very good, impactful piece of the offense on all spots. And of course, run the football. Alvin Kamara, he's got to keep running the football good, along with Kendrick Miller. Maybe throwing some Devin Neal every now and then, but mostly Kamara and Kendrick Miller. Give them some balls, get them some balls out of the backfield to catch and get out there in space. And if you can do that, then yeah, the Saints offense could be pretty good here. And there's a lot of the ups more than downs that you should expect going forward. for the next couple weeks and for the rest of the season. And yeah, wait. At this point, what do you have to lose? They're not going to the playoffs. Saints are not a good team. Free the Hounds, man. Let's see what they can do. Jawan Johnson get involved as well. He's had a really good year at tight end, and get him involved. He can be a good yards after catch tight end if he gets out there in space. So hey, Shuck, do your thing, man. Get the ball, but be in control though. Be in control. Do not get too comfortable and throw the ball over the yard and throw interceptions. Keep the ball in control, make your reads, and then go out there and make some plays. Because at first, when he made his first start, he was more of a game manager, and he was a little afraid to throw the football. But after that big win, and he sees that he can indeed make those throws, then there's a chance that he can be pretty good, and be good in this game, and be that quarterback that we want him to be for the rest of the year, and possibly the future if indeed the Saints don't get a quarterback in this draft coming up in 2026. So we'll see what's up. Kellen Moore, open up that playbook. Tyler Shuck, throw that thing. Alvin Kamara, run that football. Get out there in the backfield, make some big catches. Get out there in space. Do what Bijan Robinson does, but he's not Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson is one of the best running backs in football right now. And Kamara's a little long in the tooth, but he can do those things, because when Kamara first came up, he was a very, very good dual threat out of the backfield, and did things that Bijan Robinson does now. So let him do that. And if you do all of that, and you play the defense that I said in the last segment, then the Saints have a really good chance to win this football game, because the Falcons are on hard times right now. They're beat up. They lost their starting quarterback for the rest of the season, and they're just dealing with a lot of issues. And they've been inconsistent the whole year to begin with, even with all the players that they had. They were expected to be a really good team in the NFC South, but they just haven't been able to figure it out, and they're still the same Falcons. so yeah, the Saints have a good chance to win this game, and getting win number 3 is very possible. And winning 3 games feels a lot better than winning 2 and not winning for the rest of the season. So it'll feel good to win another game in the second half of the season and end the season out with at least 3 wins, and that feels a lot better. So the key obviously is that you want to keep a top 5 draft pick, but as we've seen with a lot of the guys in college this year, there's really no for sure number 1 guy you're gonna pick right away. So even if the Saints don't get the first overall pick, so be it. Hey, as long as you're top 5, that's all that matters. So winning still feels good. Get out there, get the win, and we'll see how it goes. And yeah, it's great to be back, guys. Saints football is back after that bye week, and let's get back to watching football on Sundays and stressing out and hoping the Saints don't lose another game. And yeah, this was the Saints Roundtable. I'm Alberto Lucero, and I will see you guys next week.